Hi everybody, how are you? Thank you for being on my channel. I'm not drunk. This is pink lemonade from Trader Joe's. But I think the color pink makes me feel powerful. So anyway, I'm wearing my signature color and I wanted to come on and talk about the power of feminine energy. If you've seen me talk about this before, stay tuned because there's always more to learn. That's the thing about this. About anything spiritual, it's not like you're just like, oh, I get it now. Like it's constantly just you're learning more and more. It's like learning a language that you will never fully learn until, in this case, you die, and then you'll know a lot more. But on Earth, there's just constantly more and more to know. So that can be exciting though. Feminine energy is something that is misunderstood in general because here's the thing, like, why do women struggle with this? Why is this struggle even happening? Why are you disconnected from your feminine? Because you weren't taught to be connected, because you weren't taught the power that you have, that you own, that no one can ever take away from you. Why weren't you taught that? Because that upsets the status quo, right? If you think about it, like, I think about the witch hunts a lot. In a past life, I was actually hung as a witch, and it's like deep trauma. It's not just something I'm talking about and saying and speculating about. It's something very much that affects my day-to-day life still and the way I see things. And I actually have major neck trauma and blah, blah. But, like, why did that happen? Did you ever think about that? Like, why did that happen? And what was that? I think about those women a lot and who they really were, because they were hanging women for, I mean, what were they doing exactly? And you know what I mean? And some women were even hung just for being witty, because it's like, for stupid reasons like that, well, she can't actually be that witty, she must be a witch, you know? And I think about, like, the work I do with energy in this lifetime, I would definitely be hung as a witch if that was happening today, for sure. With the stuff I talk about and the stuff that I can do also. Seeing energy, okay, let's get you out of here, you know? But I want to talk, I'm mentioning this because why? Whether or not you feel like you have incredible ability with energy or gifts, which I think we all do, not even just women, I think we all have those. Why was there ever, and why would there ever be, a suppression of inner power? Because it threatens control. It threatens you being able to be controlled. It threatens if you can heal yourself, it threatens financially, right? The companies that benefit off your illness. Think of who benefits off your illness for a second. If you got really ill, think about all the people that you would be paying, right, to live. Who benefits off of you not being well? Not just ill, but just not being well. I want you to think even deeper. I want you to think about daily, who benefits off of you being unhappy? Who benefits off of you having trauma? Who gets paid because you don't feel good inside, or you're hanging on to childhood wounds? Who gets money because you're shopping trying to make yourself feel better? And if you're better, they won't get as much money. Ironically, these are companies that have a shit ton of money. The wealth is not spread equally in this world at all. So is the world, therefore, supportive of you healing, truly? If it means a deficit in its income? No. The world is not going to tell you to use your power, point blank. It's not going to tell you to use your feminine energy. Even your family, even people around you may not be comfortable with that. Truly, they might not understand it because it's just not the culture that we are seeped in, you know, that we're bathed in daily. It's just we're not taught this outright, that our feminine energy is okay, that it's powerful, that it matters. In fact, it's the opposite. It's something you need to be suspicious of, because if it didn't matter, there would be no agenda against it. And yet throughout history there have been so many agendas against feminine energy, witch hunting being one. Right? Why need to kill? Why need to suppress? Right? In this day and age, why need to shame women into thinking they have to look a certain way? Why are women like the number one people marketed to, if you think about it? Clothing wise, appearance wise. You look at a lot of marketing, it's toward women. Why is that? Why are we constantly being distracted and convinced that we need to, you know, have certain things or be a certain way? Because people profit off of it. They profit off of you not feeling good enough. Like I said, they profit off your insecurity. They profit off of your, you know, you having trauma that's unhealed from past lives and from your childhood, from your teenage years. The people make money off of that. Really think about it. Think about where you spend your income. I talk to women about money, and I'm fascinated by money because it's so fascinating how the whole thing is just so fascinating. And I am like on a mission, especially right now, to get more money into the hands of women, because it's not just a physical process for us, it's an energetic process for us. It just is. And that part of it is so missing for so many of us. We don't understand it. We don't get the keys. We don't get the, you know, we don't get that part of it, even though we know it's there. You know, we know that something in our reality responds to our energy. But like, how do we like distill that into like a secret sauce that we can actually use to like pay our bills, right? And I think there's a lot of programs and a lot of people who have talked about this, but I have a unique approach. And I'm not saying, again, like with spiritual things like this, I'm not saying that you'll ever have it fully figured out. I think all we can do, because we're always going to keep learning while we're here on earth. I'm always going to be learning about money. I'm always going to be learning new things about feminine energy. It's just the way it is. But the more you learn, it's so exciting. You know, it feels like being an explorer, and you found new territory, and you want to like show other people. And one of those things that I found recently was like a really, really big one. And I want to go into detail. I don't know if I'm going to have time, but I want to at least give you the idea, and then I'm going to be talking more about it. You'll see that here on my channel. I already knew this, but I didn't know that this was really potentially one of the biggest keys for your wealth, okay? I see energy visually, and I have seen this dark purple energy in people. I see a lot of colors, and colors have different meanings. I've learned like the energy of empowerment. If you feel empowered, that's actually visually yellow. So the cool like hack you can do is wear yellow and you'll feel more empowered, because that's actually like the frequency of empowerment. Or like have yellow things around you if you want to feel more empowered, or you know, paint your nails yellow, or just yellow. That will literally is a frequency of empowerment. If you want to feel more empowered, you have that color. It's like color therapy. Pink, of course, is actually the color of feminine energy. Isn't that cool? And there's like different versions of it. It's like hot pink is kind of like the like, you know, sexual like hot girl energy, and then the lighter pink is kind of the more soft feminine. The color of love, and I see this almost daily at some point, is green. The actual frequency of love is green. That's why there's a lot of green on our planet. I could go on and on. So if you want to know any, let me know in the comments. I'll tell you if you're curious when any of the colors, or any like energies that correspond with color. Um, Dark purple, though, is a very specific energy, and it zaps wealth. I've known this for years. I've been telling my clients this for years because I've just seen it and I know what it is. It's a dark purple energy. It literally blocks wealth from coming to you. Are you ready for it? Because you got to be ready, because you got to deal with it when I tell you. You got to take it seriously, and you got to really look at yourself, okay? All right. Victimhood. You cannot be wealthy and feel like a victim at the same time. That's one of the keys to wealth. And so when I talk to people, I've talked to people from all walks of life. I've worked with people, clearing their energy, people who have really wealthy energy. I remember working on one client and going, your energy is just like bathed in wealth. It's just like the energy of wealth lives inside of you. Wouldn't it be nice if we could all just recreate that? But, life experiences really affect what's in our energy. So it's not like we can just be like done, but you can actually work to toward creating that energy inside of you, and anybody can do that. Energy is changeable. The energy world is fast. It flies in and out of you. It's constantly changing. What if you could work on having wealthy energy inside of you, right? And I've also worked with people who you could say don't have wealthy energy, but what is the difference? The people who don't have wealth generally deeply feel like the victim of somebody or something, and they're holding on to that with all their might, and it's just taken over their life. So this puts power back in your hands, because if you ask yourself that very important question, who do I feel like a victim of? That can change your life if you can release your grip on that and find a way to come back into, actually, funnily enough, empowerment comes into play here. Come back into empowerment, because the truth is you can't control other people. Victimhood is based in negative energy, which is a lie, which is that other people have some kind of control over you, and you are literally a victim of them. The truth is we all have agency. We all have agency. You can do what you want. You are free. You have free will. Nobody's in control of you. You're not a victim of anybody, because you have your own power. You can't control them. How can you be a victim? You'll never be able to control anybody. How can you sit here and be a victim of somebody? You can't. You whether they're treating you good or bad, you will never be able to control them. Right? You have agency, though. I don't care if you're living on the street right now. You have agency. You have the ability to let go of that, even. You're free every moment. You're free. And if you're having a difficult time letting go of it, we need to talk more. So you can book a free consult with me. I'll put my link in the description, But this is what you need to know. That it comes down to that. You cannot be a victim and constantly receiving abundance. Those two energies just don't match. And in fact, it's hard to explain, but that dark purple victimhood energy, it's just in you, and it literally feels like it drains wealth. It almost feels like a hole, like a black hole that just, every time wealth tries to come, it just can't, or it just gets thrown right out, or it just disappears. It's like those two energies don't match. Victimhood doesn't match wealth. And the good news, if you don't know what to do about this, is this. Life is on your side. Life is on your side. So life is going to teach you. It's going to guide you. It's going to show you the lesson that you need to learn. It's going to be in your face. And instead of, again, feeling like a victim, this thing is going on and that thing is going on, no. You have to start looking at what your life is trying to teach you. Why does this thing keep happening? Why does this person and that, I'm getting treated this way and I'm getting treated that way? What am I here to learn? Because when you start to look at what's happening in your life through that lens, that life is always teaching me I'm not a victim. And people who are in poverty, straight up, they're just in victim energy. That's what it is. They're not worse people. They're not bad people. They're not as good as everyone else. No, that's all it is. You're just feeling like a victim. And you have to stop. You have to know that life is on your side. Everything that exists is created by God. Everything in existence is made of positive energy. Negative energy is just lies and illusions. It doesn't exist and it's not real. God created everything. If you look around the world right now, you'll see abundance everywhere because you'll see existence everywhere. Positive energy is all that exists. So there's no way that you're on this earth and you're not supported. And if you're not getting the wealth that you want right now, you're on the journey to getting it, and you have to know that. And the way to get there is through the lessons. Yes, it's through hard work and all those things too, but we have to look at the feminine, the spiritual side of life too. You already know that working a job gets you money, but this goes deeper than that, you know? Like there's a destiny with you and wealth, and it's not about just money. It's about something bigger. It's about who you're supposed to be. You know, the type of person you're supposed to be, the way you show up in the world, how you're supported, and the way that you have peace in your life that you can spread to people, the message of hope that you get to bring to people because of your story of overcoming something. You never have to feel bad about the struggles you go through. And I really think that struggle only means that you haven't given up. That's what that means. If you're struggling, it's because you haven't given up. Okay? So what is your life teaching you? Life will quickly teach you what you need to learn, where you're going wrong. It'll bring it right in front of you, and you can't be mad at it. You have to look at it. You have to be present with it. You have to be open to it, you know? And it's not always easy. I actually didn't, the way I learned this is I didn't even know that I was feeling like a victim of most men and most masculine energy. And that's really big when it comes to money, because money is very much governed by the masculine. Even though there's an energetic aspect to money, it's about being provided for in the physical world. So if you have issues, especially with men or your dad or masculine energy, or you think men are bad and you feel like a victim of men, that's really going to affect your wealth. And so I'm just using myself as an example. Like, I didn't realize how much I felt like a victim of men and masculine energy. And it really, I started having all these tensions with men, and I actually, you know, quit something that I just felt like, you know, I felt like I'm not getting respected here. And I said I quit because of that. And I didn't realize it, but I did feel like a victim. You know, I felt like a victim. And then when I quit, two men that I didn't expect told me, you got to change your mind. And I was so touched by that. And I realized that I actually had like issues with the masculine I didn't even realize. I had issues feeling like a victim of men and situations and work and all these things. And I was acting like a victim totally, but I wasn't. And you have to like engage with life and find out those lessons for yourself. Where are you feeling like a victim, potentially, where you don't even maybe know you are? Life is on your side. It's going to show you. It's going to teach you. Even live your life with that intention. Intention is very powerful. What do I need to learn? What's in the way of my wealth? Where do I feel like a victim? How can I let go of that? Show me life. Show me the lessons. Bring it to right in front of my face. I want to know. You know, life will do it. Don't worry. It will. You will see it. And don't be afraid of those lessons. Don't be afraid of learning something about yourself, seeing something about yourself that you can't see. Maybe you know where you feel like a victim in your life. Maybe it's from your mom, or maybe it's from your dad, or from, relationships, or whatever, different things that happen to you. But you're not in those times anymore. You're not in those places anymore. And so the issues that you have will show up somehow in the reality you're living right now, the age you're at right now. They'll show up, and be open to the transformation and the opportunity for change that life is giving you to heal, to let go of that victimhood through your life and through the lessons right now. It'll show up. But you have to be willing, you have to be open, and you can't be a victim again of the lesson. You know what I mean? It's just like piling more victim energy on it. And getting your energy is cleared is really big with this too. I love helping people with wealth. I love looking in people's energy and finding the victimhood energy and actually dissolving that and clearing that, which I do with my sessions. Like, I love doing that, because that can really assist you on the process and make it faster overall. And funnily enough, I have done sessions specifically on wealth. I did a program a few years ago called Wealth Blockbuster. It sold out, of course, because everybody wants more money. But the funny thing about it, you guys, that I didn't even know would happen, was we never talked about money with anybody the whole time. Can you believe that? We didn't talk about money once. Maybe at the beginning, but then after that, never. Because wealth in your reality is about a frequency inside of you that's clear and powerful, and the real you, and with negative energy out of the way, and you in your light. And that showing up in your life, because your life reflects what's in the frequencies in your energy. So the clearer your energy, the better your life, which includes wealth. But if you're just going after wealth, it doesn't really make sense, because that's not what it's about. It's about being that. And then having that show up. Wealth is great, but it's so much deeper than that, And I think some of my most favorite wealthy people are like that. It's like, you could take away the money from their bank account, they would still be that person. It's about being that person. And then the wealth, like, obviously supports that. It's wonderful. But don't be attached to money like that, like thinking it's going to solve your problems, because we know it doesn't. So what if you did it the other way around? What if you focused on being the person, And having a certain amount of wealth is just part of that life. But you have so much power inside. That's what I'm trying to say here. One of the big things. And so we didn't talk about money in that program. We talked about, how do you be that person? And like, what's in the way of that? We talked about childhood trauma a lot. We talked about insecurity a lot. We talked about things holding people back. We talked about grief. We talked about family, generational cycles. We talked about relationships. We talked about all that kind of stuff. And I cleared energy around those things. And everybody was happy with their results. Everybody. And I saw people have results that I could not even imagine. Not just immediately, but years later. I always stay in touch with my clients if they want to stay in touch with me. And, clear energy in the moment changes not just your reality now, but in the future. And I saw a different timeline lived out by these women. It's incredible. And so there's something powerful about taking ownership of your own soul and the energy that you carry and that you allow. And if you're willing to let go of victimhood and live your life instead with the belief that you're supported, and that even the difficult stuff is supporting you because it's teaching you, you're going to have a different experience. So if you want to change your money story faster, I believe that this is the way to do it. And I believe that the opportunities for wealth really are endless. I believe that money issues and problems always teach you something about what's going on in your soul. And when you start dealing with that and looking at that, the story with money will inevitably change. And not just the amount you get, but how you spend it. Remember I said people benefit off you not being well? What if you're well? You won't need to like waste money on trying to feel better, whether it's drugs or alcohol or clothes or, you know, things that aren't really filling the void for you. It's so joyful to be able to instead just have money support you and be there for you instead of feeling like a needy relationship with it, like it's constantly draining because you don't feel good inside. What if you felt good inside, right? You would save money and you would spend it differently. You would think differently about it. You would have a totally different relationship with it. And you know what I also wanted to say? I was thinking this today. We all have money. You have money. You know you do, even if you have a penny. And if you don't, you can go to the street right now and you'll find a penny, okay? We all have it and we all get it. And it comes and it goes. And even if you're saying, no, I really don't, well, you will soon, because it always comes again, okay? And if you can, even if you don't believe me about that, well, you have had it in the past, and that's evidence you'll probably have it again in the future, okay? It'll come, but it's not about that, is what we really need to understand. It's about you. Money isn't even real. Money is just a concept. It's just paper. It's just metal. It's just like this could be money just as easily as a penny. It's just objects. It doesn't have meaning, you know? What you take with you is your spirit. That's what matters. That's the change. That's your riches. You know, the life that you live, the experience you have, the way you evolve, the lessons you learn, the kindness you put into the world, the demons that you overcome, the beauty of your soul, that frequency, and what you do with this energy in the world that you have, like that's your treasure, right? And that thing that we call money is just there to support your journey here. So like, what's important? We've got it like totally backwards when you look at it like that. And I also believe that when you look at it like that, you're not being wishy-washy and like too spiritual. It becomes easier to receive it because you're not attached to it. You're not dramatic about it. You're not a victim of it. And so many people feel like a victim of this inanimate object that has no, it's nothing. It's not, well, not, I don't want to say it's nothing, but it's like this could be money just as easily. You're like getting upset about this. It's a bottle cap. What if we started calling this currency? You would be mad and have issues and fear and victimhood about this. Okay? So let's not. It's ridiculous. If we're trading these and you got a bunch of these, then good, cool, that supports you. But let's not like ruin our lives and our health and our mental health over an inanimate object, right? There's a spirit to wealth, an energy to wealth, and that's what I'm inviting you to explore. So if you're interested in knowing more about what's going on in your energy, especially to do with wealth, I would love to talk to you about it. I do 20-minute free consults. I will actually tell you what the blocks are, where they are. I can explain personally to you what's going on in your energy so you have a clear understanding of where you're at currently and why you're getting the results you do. And then I'll also tell you how I can help if you're interested in that. And I'll do a digital drawing as well. I'd love to make energy visual and practical. And you'll get that as well in the free 20-minute consult. So click the link in the description if this speaks to you, if you like what I said, if you want to know more and you want to get more personal with your journey in specifics so that you can move forward and have a totally different journey with wealth. I want to see more wealth in the hands of women. Hallelujah. So click the link in the description. Let's get talking. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I hope that you subscribe and I see you again soon. Bye. I'm the Energy Queen.